My boyfriend of 5 years ghosted me during chemo today. He showed up at my remission party with my replacement. I never thought surviving cancer would be easier than surviving heartbreak. But when my boyfriend of 5 years disappeared 2 days after my first chemotherapy session, I learned that some people can't handle in sickness part of in sickness and in health. The night before my diagnosis, Mark had talked about our future wedding. I'll be there every step of the way, he promised, holding my hand as we watched a movie in our apartment. Nothing could ever change how I feel about you. 48 hours after my first chemo session, while I was violently ill, losing clumps of hair and terrified of dying at 29, he texted, I need some space to process everything. I'll call you soon. That was the last message I ever received from him. My calls went straight to voicemail. His friends claimed they hadn't heard from him. His apartment manager confirmed he'd moved out without notice. 5 years of love vanished without explanation. My sister Jen moved in to help me through treatment. She held my hair as I vomited, drove me to appointments, and never once mentioned Mark's name unless I brought it up first. My oncologist said stress could worsen my prognosis, so I forced myself to focus solely on survival. 8 months, 12 rounds of chemo, and 3 surgeries later, I was declared in remission. Jen organized a small celebration at our favorite rooftop bar, just 20 close friends who had actually shown up during my darkest days. I was sipping my first glass of champagne in nearly a year when I heard his laugh, the distinctive laugh I'd fallen in love with on our 3rd date. Mark was at the bar, his arm around a woman with flowing blonde hair, the kind I'd lost to chemotherapy. They were ordering drinks, completely unaware I was 30 feet away. Holy shit, Jen whispered, squeezing my hand. Want to leave? Before I could answer, Mark turned and saw me. His face went pale. The woman beside him smiled uncertainly, looking between us. Cassie, he stammered, approaching our table. You're better. Cancer-free, I replied, my voice steadier than I expected. No thanks to you. The woman joined us, confusion evident. Mark, who's this? I am his ex, I said, extending my hand. The one with cancer he couldn't handle. Her eyes widened. Cancer? You told me you broke up because she cheated on you with her coworker? The silence that followed was deafening. My friends formed a protective circle around me as Mark fumbled for words. I kept your hoodie, I said, standing up. It was perfect for the cold hospital rooms. I'll mail it to you. I walked away, surrounded by people who had actually earned the right to celebrate my survival. You disappeared on someone with cancer. Sometimes the trash takes itself out, and sometimes it comes back just long enough to remind you why you were better off without it.